Okay, it is 3 o'clock. The Port Commission for the Port of Centralia has gathered. We will start our regular meeting and I will call the meeting to order. I'm Commissioner Kyle Markstrom.
Commissioner Peter LeBlanc.
And I'm Commissioner Julie Shapley.
Kyle Support staff.
First item on the agenda for today is approval of today's agenda.
Move to approve the agenda of October 1st, 2025.
I second.
There's a motion and a second to approve the agenda. Is there any commission discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next item on the agenda for today is good of the order public comment. This time during the Port Commission meeting is for public comment. There are no action items later in the meeting, so this will be your only opportunity to provide public comment. The Port Commission welcomes and encourages your comments and participation. However, public comment is not the time for the commission to answer questions. If you have a question and would like a follow-up at a later time, please leave us your contact information so we can get back in touch with you. For those attending remotely or those who are unable to attend, please submit your written comments to agraber@portofcentralia.com before 2 p.m. the day of the meeting. We are lucky to live in a great community where we are all passionate about making this a great place to live. While we might not always agree on how to achieve that, it is important we recognize we can all be passionate about our ideas while respecting one another. You will have 3 minutes to complete your comments. When you reach your time limit, I will ask you to wrap up. Please stand at the podium when giving your comments. And if you have a specific records request, please see port staff so we can get you the information you require. The first person we have signed in today for public comment is Jan Vanovich.
Van Vanovich, Centralia. 2 meetings ago, Commissioner Lamont proposed that the commission apologize to me for the director referring to citizens as idiots. And his comment clearly directed at me following my public comment during a recorded open public meeting. I never received an apology. A few meetings prior to that, Director Heaton made false accusations about me to the commission, which were supported by 2 commissioners. These falsehoods were intended to damage my reputation and discredit me in retaliation for my criticism of the port. I still have not received an apology. If the commission is unwilling or unable to hold their employee, Director Heaton, accountable, perhaps Commissioner Markstrom should resign and Commissioner Shapley should be voted out. I am still waiting for an apology. If you want respect, you must earn it.
For your comments, the next person we have signed in for public comment is Juanita McDonald.
Hi, I'm Juanita McNaughton with the Centralia Chamber of Commerce. I am just here to let you know about some events that are happening in the local area. Today at 5 o'clock, we have a ribbon cutting for Rooted in Lewis County in downtown Centralia. And then on the 7th, we're doing a ribbon cutting for the grand opening of QXO here in Centralia as well. And then on October 9th, we'll be doing the debates at Blarney's Pub. The doors open at 10:30 and start at 11 a.m. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. We have signed in for public comment. Is there anybody in attendance today who did not sign in that would like to provide public comment? Hearing none, I will close public comment. I want to thank the chamber and appreciate you doing the ribbon cutting for our new tenant here in the Port of Centralia, QXO, who we referred to as Beacon Building Products is who the lease is with. So
They rebranded 2 months ago.
yeah, so appreciate the chamber's help on that. Welcoming our new tenant. Next item on the agenda is approval of the minutes for September 17th, 2025.
I move to approve the minutes as written for September 17, 2025.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any commission discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed, motion carries 3-0.
Give general fund warrants and vouchers 24566 through 24585, aggregate amount $115,151.72.
I move to approve warrants 24566 through 24585 in the aggregate amount of $115,151 $151.72.
Second.
There is a motion and a second to approve warrants. Is there any further commission discussion?
I have a question on that last line there, the addition, the Columbia Bank line of credit. I think when we first took it, we had to pay a fee to get it set up. So what is this line of credit out for? What are we using it on?
We've had this line of credit out since building Centralia Station. We use it generally between tax disbursements in April and October while we're working construction projects so that we're able to cover those costs. That's it.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries 3-0.
So, real quick for you today, Executive Director report. First, I want to draw your attention to the 2026 budget dates. At your next meeting, we will present the preliminary. We'll publish notice for our final budget hearing and adoption on November 19th. So just about a month in between there to review. And in that amount of time, we hope to get the assessed values so that we're able to accurately project that budget. Now, that has become exceedingly difficult over the last couple of years with the rampant rate of appeals gone on. It's very, very difficult these days to estimate. So we've adopted, we look at about 10% of what is actually listed. We go to about 90% because we feel strongly the assessor will lose again and have to refund that money again. So it's something to be aware of as we budget through this. We know of industrial firms, both Chehalis and Centralia, and are appealing as we speak. So we try to keep an eye on that. What we hope over the years is this become, I don't see it going away. I see it becoming more of a normal thing. We'll get tuned in to what that actual percentage is. But for this year, we're looking at about a 10% discount on whatever they say it's going to be.
Okay. Great.
Moving along, Executive Director report, we have completed the electric switchover on the former swamp property. That again allows us to cut the electrical to the house. Next few days, we'll be getting the power to the house shut off and moving forward with bid on demolition. All of the asbestos has been abated. Everything, all the previous work has been done. We simply weren't able to do the demo because it fed the pump house, but we continue to have break-ins there. The neighbors are worried about safety. She had someone crawl under the house and cut live wires. So fortunately, we didn't find them under there, but we did find their pliers. So with that in mind, we hope to have that wrapped up in the next week or two. Part 3 work is underway as this morning. They're probably finished with clearing and grubbing as we speak, and moving loads in. So that's progressing along. We pulled our permit last Friday. We were able to issue the notice to proceed, and they were able to get on site. So things are moving along there. Barkhouse, our surveyor, will finish the BLA and site plans of Centralia Station. I should see an initial draft probably late this week, early part of next week. As part of that, they will have all of the vacations that the city wanted for the road vacation. Makes sense to have them do it while they're on site. They've also prepared an easement for Chick-fil-A while they're on site. So trying to get all the surveying issues wrapped up we can while they're on site. We hope to have that wrapped up. And we'll have that wrapped up in October, submitted to the city and moving along. We've had discussions with the county executive and the county community development director regarding moratorium and mediation. We are on board with what the county is proposing. I don't have a formal scoping document yet. What they are proposing is equitable and reasonable. So we are looking forward to that process, and we're hopeful that it can generate results. So I will keep you apprised when it starts. So, the Gallagher Road, permit, was issued, earlier this week. There was a pre-construction meeting there, yesterday with LPC. LPC is getting ready to get underway, construction of that road. And we estimate they will do so within the next 30 days. The county has asked for a small right-of-way donation from the port. I've asked for a legal description of that. I'm not paying our surveyor to do it. You want it, you pay for it. Show us what it is, and I don't think it'll be a problem. It's a small slice. It'll be 3,000-4,000 square feet. That would have been in a setback area anyway. So it allows them a more easy design of their roundabout. So I think it's worth doing. And once we have a drawing, we'll put it in front of you.
Great.
And then finally, talking about, the LPC, working with them, received a letter from the Centralia Downtown Association, and, won't read the whole thing. I'll give you the gist of it. Over the previous years, one of the things I've always thought's been really cool about downtown Centralia is they drape garlands across all the way down the street, and you can see them lit up. But like everything else, lawyers get involved, and now garlands are a threat to humanity, and so they're not going to let them put garlands up this year. So they're trying to make some quick adjustments, and they're going to do holiday wreaths that will be permanent wreaths. So they'll be put up each year. They've found someone to provide them at a bulk price at $1,000 a piece. They will shine all season long, helping create a warm, vibrant downtown atmosphere, be recognized and promote the Port Woodby and promotion signage. And social media as a key supporter, invest in lasting community pride that benefits residents, business, and visitors. And I'm happy to report, first of all, the port we have within our budget, and we would propose to you that the port contribute $3,000 to this effort. And I'm happy to report that Logistics Property Company has committed $10,000 to this effort.
Right.
Wow. Very cool.
I feel that this is a wonderful hand up for LPC to be welcoming and to be welcome to our community. I'm really proud of them for stepping forward with the 10,000. That's very, very generous. And I also would agree that the port would also put in 3,000. That would be very good. And because the downtown area is a part of course, a large part of the city, and just like the port is. And I think this is a great way to have common ground.
Yeah, very cool. Appreciate staff's work on this and working with LPC as well. I know we've contributed to the Flower Basket program the past couple of years downtown, and I think creating that atmosphere downtown is important for everybody. I think we all take for granted how beautiful our downtown area is. We drive through it every day and don't realize a lot of people come to this community from other places and really admire what downtown looks like. So it's exciting for me that the economic development that we do over here at the port can help fund some of the things that make downtown nice. So appreciate it. Anything for Mom? Okay. You don't need a motion from us for that, do you?
No, we have it within the budget, but I'd like your concurrence if that's something you want to do.
I can.
Yeah, sounds great.
So with that in mind, moving the final piece I have for you is, I had mentioned last time we'd be providing you with the revised economic contributions and fiscal impacts of the Port of Centralia's industrial parks. This is an update of the 2023 study. This caveats in this, before I start to go through it, they will do an amazing job, even Northwest. They're renowned as the best in the Northwest. Bond agencies accept their work as pertinent to issuing revenue bonds, so they're respected throughout, but they can't catch every assumption when they come to a town. So one of the things in here is that they didn't realize that Power Sports Northwest had relocated out of downtown. And so those numbers power sports numbers are figured into the coming year for downtown. And those amount to about 1.5 million in sales tax. Power sports was kind enough to help us with what those sales looked like. And so that you're able to understand, okay, that's what that chunk of money would look like.
Okay.
So that's kind of one of the main things that was in it. Also, we don't in 20, it's hard for them to know what Winco numbers are because they're using all of the 24 and 23 numbers and projecting forward. And remember that Winco opened in 25. We know from speaking with Winco, and I believe Greg shared this with Julie as well, that they are far beyond their wildest expectations of Centralia. It is outproducing many of their other stores. They're excited about it. And so not all those sales are taxable, but all those salaries are certainly countable, as well as the economic impact they bring. So we're going to post this up on our website later today, so it'll be available for anyone. You can download it. It's PDF, print it, do whatever you want with it. But we do invite you to take a look. So some key findings. Historically, the unemployment rate in Lewis County typically ranged between 2 to 6% points higher than the state average. Due in part to the significant growth at the port's industrial parks, that gap has narrowed to less than 1 percentage point, and in some recent months, Lewis County's unemployment rate has been even lower than Washington's. Now, that doesn't factor in August and September, where we know labor markets change. So in 2026, businesses in the industrial parks are projected to employ 3,145 workers directly, earning a combined $239 million in wages, benefits, payroll. When complete, LPC will occupy somewhere around 4 million square feet. If they go to full fruition, once fully staffed, they are expected to employ about 761 management office distribution center workers. The 3 industrial parks are expected to generate 27.3 million in state and local tax revenue next year, while the central part of downtown will contribute 8.7 million. So let's talk about that. One of the things that we've been asked about over and again is, downtown, and that there's no reading on that. So it was a insignificant change to our scope of work to have Eco Northwest take a look at the downtown core. You'll see the map of where they looked at. They've encapsulated it well. And they actually enjoyed doing it. They did a walking tour. They got to have lunch in Centralia and go antique shopping and do their work while they were here. Through the local employment and purchase of goods, services, business, and industrial parks will support more than 1 billion in total economic output in the local economy next year. Moving along page 4, this is important because we hear this, I hear this coming up over and again, and unfortunately I hear it coming out of the Economic Development Council, and I really, really strongly encourage them to get educated on the labor markets. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics survey conducted in May of 24, 74% of workers in these types of facilities are employed in transportation and material moving occupations, distribution. In non-metropolitan Western Washington, which includes Lewis County, the average annual wage for these occupations was $50,800. By comparison, 51% of workers in the manufacturing sector held production positions with an average annual wage of $53,900. Let's stop right there. We have heard over and over and over that we want manufacturing and that distribution doesn't pay anywhere near the wages. 30 years ago, that was true, but you gotta keep up with the market. Manufacturing in Washington State is not a friendly environment. Distribution has continued to grow, and as they've had to grow their wages too. If you want quality labor, that's what it takes. So this rings pretty true with what we know of UNFI starting wages at over 26 bucks an hour. That gets you to $52,000 a year without pulling overtime. So, and by the way, these do not factor in overtime, which would push UNFI considerably higher. So, but this is just a 40-hour work week. However, unemployment in manufacturing has been declining as automation and artificial intelligence play increasing roles. I can tell you this in forest products, automation has been the norm for the last 30 years. It's how we're able to compete with cheap plywood from South America, cheap lumber that's dumped on our markets from Canada. We have to use automation as opposed to labor to get to those areas of competitiveness. For instance, Sierra Pacific, a mill that turns out the board footage they did in the 1980s would require about 750 workers. Now it's done with just under 130 because sawyers don't pick the logs anymore. It's read by a computer. It knows exactly where to cut, maximum fibers retained. And this is just technology and the new economy. It's growing. And I'm not going to sit here and to tell you I know everywhere AI is going and what's going to be changed, but inevitably it's crossing all sectors. And so when we look at manufacturing, it historically has been good. But when you look at Washington State and our rules on emissions, noise, other impacts that manufacturing have that distribution doesn't, it makes it difficult to permit here.
Mhm.
So this was a very interesting facet in this. I honestly had no idea where the wage gap anecdotally from tenants, kind of where it's at.
Mhm.
But it was good for them to use BLS statistics and prove out where that was. So they made some projections on inflation and the unemployment trend that coming in the future years. They project inflation of about 3.6% next year, 4% the following year. See, I think we 2.1 was this year. Between 1990 and 2019, this is also another, I think, amazing statistic in here. Between 1990 and 2019, Lewis County's monthly unemployment rate is generally between 2% and 6% higher than the state's average. The gap has narrowed substantially since then, and in some months, the unemployment rate in Lewis County was less than the state's. The narrowing gap is due in large part to new jobs at these industrial parks. And there's a nice graph here you can see online. It's much better online than the print version. You can get a better look at it. The maps you see on the next page show the areas that we looked at. See Park 2, Park 1, Centralia Station, and then a large section to the east was the downtown core. So wrapping up, the direct employment by location, we come out in here that there's not only just 3,145 direct jobs, but there's also additional 800 jobs that are indirect. People that supply, the census guy that delivers uniforms, the Fastenal guy that delivers industrial products. Many of those have located here to service our industrial park. And so that's when they talked about it. When they talk about induced labor, that's what they're talking about. 886 jobs with indirectly support and 790 induced jobs for a total of 4,821 jobs in the local market. Again, we're going to get this posted up on our website. We intend to update this, every couple of years to find out where we're at, how is what we're doing working. And I think it's a great report card. So they're plugging along. It's been a good economy the past few years. You would hope to see a good one like this. And
Very nicely done.
Mhm.
Yeah, I really appreciate staff's work getting us information. I feel like as a port commissioner, I'm pretty biased and I always look at the things we do and see the positive things, but it's nice to have a third party respected firm, look at things without my rose colored glasses on and give us this direct information. So really appreciate having this. I think it's useful for the commission as well as the community to have this information.
Just to add one thing to this, in my other job, I talked to somebody from Sierra Pacific the other day. They were very happy with the way that they've been treated by the board. Person also told me if we know anybody that is a lumber grader, they would love to talk to them. So that's an art that they can't do with the computer. And, they really need people that have that skill set. But other than that, they said right now they're pretty much at full employment, so.
I have a copy of the 2022 economic program. And it was very interesting to compare the numbers. And they had in the 2023 analysis, the 3 industrial parks will directly employ 2,300 individuals who will earn $136.1 million in wages. And in 2026, so 3 years, 3,145 workers earning a combined total of 239,000. And that is amazing to me, that we're talking over 100, well, $1 million over.
Yeah, $100 million increase in wages in
Yes.
3 years' time, yeah.
Just in all fairness, one tenant we have that tremendously helps with that is Walmart. All of their drivers made over $100,000 a year out of the Centralia location. They are trying to get up to 150 drivers. They have been stuck on 110. They're recruiting out of Tacoma. We just can't find the driver.
Yeah.
Drivers are aging out.
Yeah.
It's an industry.
And the Walmart executive director Heaton is talking about, in case those here listening don't know, we have the Walmart shopping center in Chehalis, but here in the Port of Centralia, we have they call it a logistics center, a transfer center.
Commerce.
So a large a user here where this is where they come and go with all of their trucks and store their trucks, and the drivers come and hop in and start their shifts here. So that was one we added here a few years ago. So pretty cool.
And interestingly, I was speaking to someone this weekend that makes very large purchases on a wholesale level. And what they have seen business-wise nationally is that a lot of companies are buying more of their inventory because of the tariffs. They're buying much more than they normally would do. And they're warehousing it because they're not sure what the tariffs are going to be, and also the pricing, how pricing is going up. So industries are buying more inventory and sitting on it, and they need warehouses for that. So they're seeing a lot more demand for warehousing because of the tariffs and because of the large amounts of inventory that people or companies that are taking on.
That's true. And one of the areas in the study that surprised us as staff is you historically think that retail is where all sales tax comes from. And then, in some aspects, that's true. However, a lot of what our tenants buy have sales tax, and what they produce does as well. And so it was interesting, if you look at page 12, that the industrial parks actually produce 5.7 million year in sales tax in local, that's state view. Local, it's about 1.6 million, compared to the retail that was 1.3. And that included power sports in it. So it's, I was surprised how many taxable sales there are here. I know there are some, but I'm surprised as to the degree.
I doubt that takes into account all of the new taxes on services that were implemented, I think, the first of this month.
Today.
No, doesn't.
Didn't they go in?
No, that does not, it's not in here.
No, but I mean, that's additional.
Yeah.
I mean, all these new taxes that Olympia is foisting on everybody, on services and things like that, that our tenants use a lot of services, I guess is what I'm getting at. And those are a lot of those are now being taxed, so, or unintended consequences, but.
And also the automation, we see it all the time, and you go into Safeway, you go into Walmart. It used to be that you have all these clerks working, and now it's all self-checkout. So automation right there. And each one of those computers is purchased and pays sales tax with that. Thank you very much.
Anything
All I
else
have for you,
for Commissioner report?
Commissioners.
Okay, we will move on to commissioner reports. Commissioner Lamont?
Well, yeah, attended a couple meetings, that's about it. So. No, I talked to Rogers Machinery and Sierra Pacific at a hiring event. Rogers is always looking for a couple of machinists and, but Sierra Pacific, they're always looking for good people. But it was funny what the director said about the computer assisted, said all their logs are kept by computer. So somebody just sits in the control room, watch it, but they said the computer can't do great either.
Mhm.
Well, neither have their graders for that.
Very good. Well, it's nice to hear that our tenants are always looking for more employees.
And I also have attended the board meetings and the chamber and then at city council. And that's about it. It's just been a very busy month.
We don't have anything to report. There was a 0.09 committee meeting last week. Unfortunately, I could not make that one, so I don't have anything to report back from there. I think
There's
that's it.
supposed to be a county commissioner meeting Friday morning. I will not be able to attend. I'll be out of town for work.
Oh, okay, the mayor, is that the
The
mayor's meeting?
mayor's.
Okay, thanks for letting us know. Appreciate it. Okay, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thanks for tuning in.